In today's video, we'll be going over an awesome Japanese RPG that has been confirmed for a PlayStation 4 release. It'll be coming in Japan later this year, and I would imagine that a release stateside would be following shortly thereafter. Also, a free demo for Devil May Cry 5 is available right now. If you remember, they did run a Devil May Cry 5 demo prior. However, that was exclusive to the Xbox One. Now with this new demo, those of you on the PS4 can play it as well. Speaking of Devil May Cry 5, that is a game coming from Capcom, and Hideki Itsuno said that he did want to make Dragon's Dogma 2, but he came around and chose to make Devil May Cry 5. That was said in an interview with VG247. I want to take a look at what he specifically said and the possibility of a Dragon's Dogma 2 sometime down the line. Also, the Farm 51 has announced a new sci-fi survival horror game, Chernobyl Light. This is a game you should know about, and I do want to go over some of the details about that game. Also, a pretty big remaster is coming next month in Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. A trailer has been released comparing it to the original game, and it has been priced, and I do have to say it's priced pretty highly, and I'm quite disappointed about that. And lastly, a brand new PlayStation 4, PlayStation VR title will be coming very soon, and I want to highlight that game as well. More on that at the end of this video. First, let's talk about Ys, The Memories of Celceta, coming to PlayStation 4 on May 16th in Japan. Now, this is a full high definition and 60 frames per second remaster. This was originally released on the PlayStation Vita, and I do believe this was a revisitation of Ys 4, so we're finally going to get that on the PlayStation 4, which is great because this game was relegated to the PlayStation Vita. A PC version was released as well, but for those of you that entirely play on PlayStation platforms, you know, not a lot of people still have their PlayStation Vita, so to see this game come out on the PlayStation 4 as well is great. It is going to get a physical release in Japan. Hopefully we get a physical release over here stateside as well, and I do think a $39.99 price point would be great, but anything more that I can add on that would just be speculation because the Japanese release isn't even out yet. But I do imagine, based on how well the Ys games have been performing stateside, we've seen Ys 8 be released here. That game was received rather well, and this is a game that already has its translation out. An English version has already been released on Vita and PC. Bringing it over to the PlayStation 4 isn't gonna be a massive undertaking like the undertaking that it was with Ys 8, and of course that game had a lot of translation issues. That really shouldn't be a problem with Ys Memories of Celceta. Sure, you might have to iron out some issues, but there's no reason we shouldn't be getting this release before the year's out. And Ys Memories of Celceta is a great game in its own right. Many saw that game as one of the best JRPGs available on the PlayStation Vita, and to be able to revisit that game on the PS4, that'll be great. Of course, just like every other Ys game, from a technical standpoint, it's not incredible, but quality-wise, it's a very good game. Wouldn't say it's quite as good as Ys 8, but it's honestly pretty close, and I think pretty highly of Ys 8, so that says a lot. Moving on from that, Devil May Cry 5 had a demo a little while ago, but that was exclusive to the Xbox One. Now, for those of you on the PlayStation 4, you have a demo to try out as well. The download size of the demo is 8.8 gigs, so it's a little bit sizable for a demo, but nothing too crazy. And the description states, the ultimate Devil Hunter is back in style. In the game action fans have been waiting for. In this demo, control Nero and use his Devil Breaker to fight the demon hordes, gain new skills, and save Redgrave City. Save data from this demo will grant you a bonus of 30,000 red orbs when you play the full game, so that's a nice addition. And again, the demo is available to download right now. Devil May Cry 5 has some slick action gameplay, some awesome music. We'll see how the whole game turns out, but hopefully it does pretty well. Capcom has been on a roll with the success of Monster Hunter World. Hopefully they can also bring Devil May Cry to a more mainstream audience. I don't know if DMC5 is the game to do it, but based on the footage that I've seen thus far, it is shaping up quite nicely. And the Xbox One demo was pretty great, so to be able to play the game on the PlayStation 4 ahead of its release, that's fantastic. Speaking of Devil May Cry 5, director Hideaki Itsuno had a very interesting interview with VG247, and here's what he said when the discussion for Devil May Cry 5 was initially brought up. Quote, so when the discussion came up for Devil May Cry 5, I went to Kenzo Tsujimoto, the Capcom founder, and I said, look, I want to make either Devil May Cry 5 or Dragon's Dogma 2 next. He said, okay, do whatever you want, do whichever one you want, so I thought, alright, you know what, let's do DMC5, so we did that. Here we are, we're now finishing up DMC5, but I had ideas for Dragon's Dogma 2 at that time as well. So here we are, it's the end of this project. Itsuno grins right after making that statement. That is gonna open a lot of speculation. The floodgates have been opened for Dragon's Dogma 2, and I think that is a game gamers want to see. Dragon's Dogma was one of these cult classics that was released towards the latter part of the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360's life, and while that game wasn't a colossal commercial success, I would say over the years it has garnered more and more appeal, especially after the release of Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen on the PlayStation 4. It's a game that gamers go back to and harken back to it pretty fondly, and looking at the success of games like Monster Hunter World, I do think Dragon's Dogma is an RPG franchise where Capcom can make it a big budget title. Right now, they just wrapped up DMC5, but it seemed like Itsuno had the groundwork laid out for Dragon's Dogma 2. He had ideas for the game. Could that be the next game he works on after Devil May Cry 5? Could it be a scenario where he's alternating between DMC games and Dragon's Dogma? At that point, I'm getting way too far ahead of myself, but that's something I would love to see. Hopefully DMC5 does really well, but I would love to see Dragon's Dogma 2, and I know a lot of other gamers feel the same way. Moving on from that, the developers behind Get Even, The Farm 51 has announced a brand new game, Chernobylite, a sci-fi survival horror game coming to consoles this fall. Here's what the About section of Chernobylite lists. April 26, 1:23 a.m. Ukrainian time 1986, the day on which the Chernobyl nuclear catastrophe happened and lives of 350,000 people changed forever. At that time, you were just a young, passionate, naive physicist who working at the facility. And like many other, you've lost what was most dear to you, a loved one. 30 years later, you're struggling with the demons of the past, so to finally put them to rest, you return to what's now called the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone. 30 years after the catastrophe, the pollution in Chernobyl continues to increase due to the unexpected activity of a dangerous substance produced as a result of the explosion called Chernobylite. It's rumored from other stalkers still living in the zone that under the influence of its radioactivity, strange things have started to happen. Things only described in tales for naughty children up until now. You're returning to Chernobyl with one goal in mind: to find your missing girlfriend and uncover the dark secret behind her disappearance. Get ready to confront not only the dangers of radiation and the military presence, but also the potential threat emanating from these new mysterious happenings. Keep your wits about you and try to maintain your composure, because Chernobylite is going to challenge your very sanity. The game is a science fiction survival horror experience from the team behind the critically acclaimed Get Even. The game mixes the free exploration of its disturbing world with challenging combat, unique crafting, and non-linear storytelling. The exceptional title will constantly challenge you to survive, play by your own rules, and experience, maintain your resolve, and keep your wits about you. The Chernobyl nuclear power plant is not what it once was, and none can foresee the horrors that may have befallen your beloved. There was an announcement trailer also released for the game, and it's shaping up pretty good. Get Even wasn't an excellent game, but it did have a lot of interesting concepts, and hopefully the Farm 51 can parlay it into an even better game with Chernobylite, as it is scheduled to launch this fall. Moving on from that, one game you won't have to wait nearly as long for is the Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. That'll be coming as a part of the Assassin's Creed Odyssey Season Pass. It'll also be seeing a standalone release, which I'll talk about in a second because it is priced so high. We did get a trailer drop for the AC3 Remaster, and it compares the remaster to the original game. Obviously, you'll see some visual improvements, which is a foregone conclusion. Yes, you'll get it as a part of the Odyssey Season Pass, and that's great, but if you want to get the retail standalone version, it'll cost a whopping $39.99. Wow, that's pretty expensive. Comparatively speaking, the Assassin's Creed Ezio Collection, I believe, was released at $60, but that contained 3 games. This only includes 1, and it's being released for $40, so you do the math, yeah, it's a little bit high on the price side. If it was priced at $30, or best of all, $20, I think it would be much more palatable. $40 a little bit high, but considering a retail version is being released, hopefully it does go on sale rather quickly. We saw that with Burnout Paradise Remastered, so I can see the same happening with AC3, and Ubisoft games recently have just been generally going on sale pretty quickly. And it's not like this is one that a lot of gamers are eager to pick up and play on day one, unless you do have the Odyssey Season Pass, where it's just a nice inclusion on top of all the Odyssey content that you're already getting. Again, Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered will be dropping on March 29th. And lastly, a pretty interesting game is coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation VR next week with Zing the Land Beyond. Zing the Land Beyond is an atmospheric first-person puzzle adventure game set in the afterlife. In death, you will find yourself on a journey across a series of mysterious lands filled with the thoughts and personalities of those long lost. Follow forgotten stories, collect artifacts, solve puzzles, and discover secrets as you make your own adventure through the mysteries of the land beyond. PlayStation Plus members can enjoy a 25% off deal during launch weekend. The game will be coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation VR. It'll have support for VR on February 12th, so it's just about to be released. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, an awesome PlayStation 4 JRPG has been confirmed with Ys Memories of Celceta. It'll be coming on May 16th in Japan. I imagine a stateside release will follow shortly thereafter. The Devil May Cry 5 demo is live right now. It's a free download download, check it out. You'll be able to experience some slick action gameplay. Hideaki Itsuno is finishing up DMC5, but prior to the development of DMC5, he did ponder on Dragon's Dogma 2. Could we see that next? I hope so. Chernobylite is a brand new sci-fi survival horror game, and it's coming to PS4 this fall. Assassin's Creed 3 Remaster is coming March 29th, and Zing the Land Beyond is coming to PS4 and PSVR on February 12th. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.